It's 298 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of smoke bombs. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Hit it.
On April 16th at Keyworth Stadium, Jay Chapman passes the Maury Donor in the 71st minute to give Detroit City a 1-0 lead over Westchester SC. But Juan Obregon puts this banger into the net, and Detroit City and Westchester are tied at 1 apiece. Later, in the 85th minute, Jasil Cedeno would convert on this penalty kick right here and put Detroit City up 2-1. Darren Smith finishes off the job, and it's a 3-1 victory for Detroit City. Now they head to Chicago to take on the Fire next on Soccer Night in Detroit.
Is there anything Detroit City FC can't do?
Detroit, knock out the reigning champ!
Tonight, it's the round of 32 from Geek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois. Chicago Fire takes on Detroit City FC.
All right. Happy Open Cup Day.
Yay! It's the magic of the Open Cup.
And then through the magic of video and editing, we're recording this on a Saturday. Right now, I'm on my way to Chicago with my daughter. We're going to be providing post-match coverage from SeatGeek Stadium as Detroit City will take on the Chicago Fire in the round of 32.
And I'm stuck in home at Hamtramck, still up with my mom, for God's sake. So, like I said, we're going to mention the games against Detroit and Chicago. We will not mention the results of the Detroit City Indy match that happened on Saturday. If you want to watch it, we did a recap after the match. You can find that right here. And
subscribe, share it, whatever it is, but it is on there after hours from Saturday night. The Saturday night match in Indy. We have a recap of that.
Yes.
Also on YouTube. Boost those views up, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
All that jam, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Burritos, yes. Open burritos, yes. For
Cheers for City success in the Open Cup.
And safe travels for us, Rover. 600 people are going to this thing.
Oh my God, I'm missing out.
600
How many buses?
Two buses. Two buses. Not to
Wow.
mention the people that are going on their own accord down to Chicago. There's been parties down there. There was a party down Lakeview or down the Lakeview area last night, and now going into as we're recording, a little trade secret here. We're recording on Saturday. So when I mentioned last night, I meant the Tuesday night. But of course, right now, I'm on the bus to Chicago with Sam. And
she may be in Cameron for after.
She will be, yes.
And I'm stuck here. But I will be here at the City Clubhouse. By the way, if you want to know, it's on East Lafayette. You could watch the game and cheer on the victory. And let's hope it doesn't go extra time. If it's so, we'll have our goaltender with it.
Yes, indeed. Of course, Carlos Saldana was big in last year's round of 32 matchup against Houston, coming up with the game-winning goal to send Detroit City on to the it was different last year because we ended up getting into the round of 32.
Yeah.
After that win, and because it was a little bit of a different format last year. This year, it's a totally different format because you had all the group. Round one was your
entry teams.
Had 4 or 8 of the USL teams, the ones that didn't make the playoffs. The next round included the
MLS team that were qualified.
You had your MLS next teams for the USL. We came in round 3. Hosting a match. Of course, we beat Westchester SC.
Oh yeah, this year, yes, we beat Westchester FC the last time we talked to you on Open Cup Day.
Yep.
We beat Westchester 3-1. Darren Smith had a goal.
Jasil Cedeno on a penalty kick, and Maury Donor opened up But then that spectacular Galazzo.
Oh
my God. That spectacular Galazzo and that,
It is, yeah.
As you saw in the opening, even things up, and then Detroit City just went on cruise control the rest of the match.
You're right.
For that one. So,
And this is, since this is the round, all the 16 MLS teams, except for Inter Miami, you probably know why. I won't go there.
I'm not condoling them for them losing to Vancouver Whitecaps last Wednesday night in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So no condolences there. You know my feelings on Messi. You know my feelings on Messi.
I know.
Great player. Great player. However,
Miami is not in the Open Cup because they weren't trying to protect Messi. Hello.
The thing is, I'll go into my reasons much later as far as that goes.
Chicago Fire is entering this competition. They play in the MLS. They're in the bottom third of the Eastern Conference standings. You know what I mean?
Their form of late has been horrid.
Not counting the Orlando game. They have been winless in 5.
Oh yeah, winless in 5, including drawing Messi and the boys at Soldier Field.
And being blown out last game against Nashville FC.
7-2.
I'm watching the highlights and I thought, what the hell? What the hell is going on?
They have not won a match in the last 5 attempts.
Oh my God.
It's just it's been an ugly type of form for them.
It's been ugly with a capital U.
Hugo Cyphers has been their best player.
Oh yeah.
He's got 7 goals on the year, but are we going to see it?
That's a bigger question. Are we going to see it? Because, like I said, with the management we saw between regular league play, Open Cup, then the Jaeger Cup, a
lot of rotation. That's the one thing that we, that's the good thing about Detroit City right now, the depth of this squad.
Yes.
We didn't remember back in 2022, we didn't have as much depth.
No.
We got more depth now than we ever had.
We have 3 goaltenders.
We got 3 goaltenders. We got we got a plethora of forwards. We got a plethora of midfielders. We got a plethora of defenders. That's a luxury that we did not have back in 2022, and not to be able to be in.
And it showed in 2023 when we had our not good season. By the way, no.
So
that's the
the thing about the MLS squads is they are free to, flux out a little bit. You might see some more younger players playing in this one.
Yeah.
And the one caveat.
Or from the academy,
The one caveat. I did mention this on the Musings last Wednesday. Is their coach.
Oh.
You know who their coach is, Steve?
The guy who used to coach the U.S. men's national team until he was let go last year.
In Copa of America. After Copa America,
after the U.S. Sonic won Mr. Greg Berhalter,
yeah. Greg Berhalter has taken over in charge of the Chicago Fire right now. Right now, like I said, they're not doing so hot right now. And I think we're seeing and I'm not talking about his son. Congratulations to his son, by the way.
Okay,
props to his son.
What does his son do?
He plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Oh, yes.
So props to him.
They're in the big Copa final, which is sort of like the American version.
Champions Cup final.
Which is sort of like the Americans version of the UEFA Champions League Cup, right?
Pretty much, yes, it is. But congratulations to his son. The dad not doing quite so much. not doing so much. Right now,
3-4 in 11 plays with 12 points tied with Atlanta United, the main club, not the not too tough. We had
they're right now they're 2 points behind NYCFC for the 9th and final playoff spot.
Yeah, right. It's a playing game, 8 versus 9
in the Eastern Conference right now, and it's the least can be said about them. It's been a struggle all year.
I know.
Their 3 wins, a win over FC Dallas, Toronto FC, and they actually beat the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Oh, how weird is that?
Yeah, I know. They actually won
weird
and they won it in Vancouver, no less.
Duh.
How go figure on that one. But
How
yeah, the
bizarre.
form as of late has not been all that great. The only, I was going to say the only bright spot for him is tying Messi and the boys at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Other than that, 2-1 losers against New York Red Bulls. FC Cincinnati nipped them 3-2, and then as we mentioned earlier, the 7-2 drubbing of Nashville.
It was not fun. It was not fun watching the highlights of it. Oh my God! Holy smoke! It was a 5-zip at the half. The half. Oh my!
It just, and shall we say Detroit? Okay, we played. You think? Okay, last year we played Houston Dynamo at the right time,
and they were the champions.
They were the Open Cup. They were the Open Cup champions the previous year before. This year, or back in 2022. We played Columbus Crew. They were on the downslide. We caught them at the right time, and then boom, cup set at Keyworth.
You're right about that. And by the way, I looked this up on Wikipedia. It is not easy being the big dog in the yard, which is an MLS team. Not counting the last year competition when you only had 8 MLS teams, and not counting 2020 and 2021, which was canceled for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I have found 33 times a lower division team beat a entering MLS team.
Mm-hmm.
Average of 3 cup sets per.
Wow.
It's not easy.
3 per year.
Yeah.
3 per year. So I mean,
you're right.
It's what they call the magic.
Oh, yeah.
The magic of the cup.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and it happens all the time. And
or like the magic of the cup, as the late Doug Henning would say.
But the thing of the magic of the cup, a lot of these cup sets happen, as I mentioned, the team who basically is the higher seed usually would come, or not the higher seed, the favorite. Let's just say the favorite, because MLS teams are generally the favorite, because you think of the Division 1, Division 2, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes those Division 1 teams have a worse record than the team that they are playing, which happens to be a Division 2 team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, grant you, Detroit City back in 2022, not really one of the best records going into it. However, yeah. They got their momentum from cup games. The Smoke, Darkness, and Smell game.
Oh yeah,
the first matchup.
I remember that game.
Smoke, Darkness, and Smell. That gave them the motivation. Yes. And then next thing you know, you got a struggling Columbus Crew team coming in. Then boom, Detroit City pulls the cup set. Thanks to Maxi Rodriguez's penalty kick.
During better time, must I say. During better time.
And then last year, a struggling Houston Dynamo team. Mind you, they were champions the year before in the Open Cup. Their first match in the Open Cup, it was the barn burner. It was the historic barn burner between those two teams. They went up early. They got a 2-goal lead. Detroit City came back. Next thing you know, they go into extra time. We go into penalty kicks. Guess who becomes the hero that night?
Maxi?
No.
Oh, I forgot.
One goalkeeper that just re-signed or just got his contract extended another year.
Oh, yeah. The one, Reese Williams.
No.
A
goalkeeper.
Yeah, I forgot.
Carlos Saldana with the penalty kick and with the penalty kick to win that shootout.
I remember that game because it was crazy. It was when
you were here at the clubhouse.
No, I was at home watching at home where it was a reviewing party. I got there late for the reaction because I live with them. I forgot that. But like I said, it was nip and tuck. It was seesawing back and forth, and then when you go in the penalty kicks, it was a nip and tuck, and almost every goal scorer scored, and the only last line defense, and they have to score because at the end of the lineup, the goaltenders. Yeah. The Houston goaltender kicked one way too high. Oh,
just a bit high and outside.
Harry Doyle. The late Harry Doyle.
The late Bobby Urban.
Yeah, you're right. And then Karate. He knew. to tell you the truth, I've seen almost everything in soccer. I have seen 2-goalie kick, power play kick, but never experienced on when the goaltender for Houston missed. The pressure of trying to win a game in regulation.
I remember Manchester United a couple years back in the Europa League final. They went down the penalty kicks and it was up to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Manchester United's goalkeeper missed and lost the Europa League because of it. So, I mean, it does happen in penalty kicks. What they say is the cruelest way to end a soccer match. But
yeah, it is. Thank God it's not the early version of the MLS penalty kick shootout. Remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm sorry, I have to bring that up.
Bastardized soccer 2.0. Remember the 35-yard line in NASL.
And remember the 6 point for a win, 3 point for a loss, and then 1 goal per point up to 3. Oh, brother. It was crazy exciting until the Jägermeister Cup.
Yeah, I am glad that we are back. You know, we have adopted the proper rules of the game.
Oh, the proper English rules.
The proper worldwide rules.
Oh, that's the proper rules. I was just saying that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
the proper worldwide rules of the game.
Yeah,
to make it more interesting.
So who do you think you're going to see for Detroit City in this game?
It really remains to be seen here. One player that has been a huge part of these cup competitions has been Haruki Yamazaki.
Oh, yeah.
Haruki Yamazaki really shined in the first Open Cup match against Westchester SC. And, you have to remind, the kid's fast. He's very fast. And he reminds me, I mean, he may not have the goal output. No. He reminds me a lot of those J League players, but he got he honed in his talents mostly in playing college soccer in the Horizon League with Oral Roberts University. So,
it's the same league that Oakland U is in, Detroit Mercy,
Mercy, and all them. But I mean, he honed his skills for that. Got a gig with Northern Colorado Hailstorm, and he was primarily featured in the cup matches there.
A Jägermeister Cup,
and the performance in his Jägermeister Cup matches transcended enough where he landed a starting gig with Northern Colorado Hailstorm. And then once the Hailstorm folded,
became the first player from a folding team to sign here.
One of the first, and he's done quite well for Detroit City as far in the cup top. Go back to the first Jägermeister Cup game against Pittsburgh.
Yes,
we were on the sidelines looking at it. Shout out to Adam and Garrett who were standing with me, both from Majors Detroit 451.
451,
Channel 451 as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. We were watching the action, and I missed. I was gathering some stuff, but he leveled one of the players from Pittsburgh. I mean, just flat out leveled him. Like a linebacker type style, and he just knocked him. I wouldn't say knocked him cold, but just knocked him down.
Silly.
I mean, he'll fight for the ball, and once he gets the ball, he provides it. He provides it to he facilitates it real well, like the way he scored. Like the way the Darren Smith goal. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Haruki Yamazaki.
Oh yes.
Yamazaki passing to Morris, and then Morris going to Darren Smith for the header.
Oh yeah.
And just the speed, the tenacity, I like it from him, and I think he's going to be a huge factor. And I expect him to be. And he's been featured in the cup competition games.
I know, yes, and we may see a different lineup. And remember, Darren Smith, he scored a goal as a sub. He could prove his work as a sub. He had 8 goals in all competition, including a game-tying 6 goals. This is before Saturday, and where we're recording this. And he could be a spark plug for this team.
Absolutely. If he gets Darren Smith is the spark plug for this team right now. 8 goals in all competitions. He got the late goal against Westchester in round 3 at Keyworth Stadium. And he's just been on a tear as of late. And one of the top scorers in the league, one of the top scorers in the country. And
you're right.
I keep bringing up the whole Messi thing.
Yeah, I know.
I do. He's equal. He's equal to him in goals, in output right now, and that's amazing to see. And the reason why I do that is because yes, there are more players than Messi out there.
You're right.
And who was it? Brian White.
Yes.
Of the team that eliminated them in the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Vancouver.
Yeah. And he's got 11. He had 11 goals going into Saturday. I mean, as I mentioned, recording on Saturday.
Yeah.
Going into those match. Going into that match, he had 11 goals in all competitions, and he scored a big one on this past Wednesday night in the Champions League. So there's other players out there besides Messi. We know this, and there's other players that are better than Messi right now.
Yeah. Well, considering that, like I said, he's in a league which for years have been trying to shake up the word retirement league. A lot of the players we have seen, including Messi, have be on the downward of their sunset of their career, and we're not dealt the following the players. If you look at the last World Cup, a lot of the players did not come from MLS. They went overseas, like Christian Pulisic, and
which brings us back to Greg Berhalter.
Oh,
which brings us back to Greg Berhalter.
Greg Berhalter, yeah.
Yes, he coached all those players.
Yeah.
He's won competitions. He's won Nations League,
Yeah.
CONCACAF Nations League. He's won some important matches, like against Mexico, and some battle. Had some battles with the Canadian team, and Jesse March doing a fantastic job north of the border here. American, by the way.
Thank you.
That's doing the job up in Canada with some outstanding players on that squad.
He do it on his own, no drawing loud. That's another story for another time.
But the thing is, fall from grace, and then you go after a not so stellar World Cup.
Yeah. And then a Gold Cup from hell where you lost to Canada.
Yeah, you don't even make the knockout stage in the Gold Cup.
No.
And it just compounded and compounded and compounded. Next thing you know, he's out of a gig. He had to find a job somewhere.
Chicago.
He lands in Chicago with the Fire. And from what it looks like so far this year, and we mentioned this earlier, not so good results there in Chicago.
And don't forget, when I was doing my research for this game, there are a lot of players out with injury. So they may be injury tested or injury battled or something like that. So
I mean, it's going to be interesting what the lineups are going to be when they drop down. I'll post something. The team news
in Chicago,
in
right?
Chicago. Okay. Once we find out what the lineups are for that matchup there going on later on.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I mean, you look at it this way. I mean, Detroit City's on a roll.
Yeah.
Chicago Fire is not so much.
Yeah, right.
And you were talking about all the cup sets of all those teams, and I mean, you think they're very vulnerable?
Yeah.
Highly vulnerable?
Highly vulnerable. I'm going to say this right now. I think there's a good chance they could win this outright. And I know I'm going into predictions early, but I'm going to say possibly a 2-0 win.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the power of MLS. I understand the allure of MLS.
And the magic of the cup.
I understand the magic of the cup more. And you know what? They're gonna classify this as a cup set if Detroit City wins. Because it's the lower division beating the higher division team. It's all about talent level at this point. And right now, Detroit City is on a bender, and they're winning games, and they've won 4 out of their last 5 heading into Saturday.
Yeah,
mind you, sans not counting the result Saturday night, but they were heading into this thing on a bender, and you know what? Form is temporary.
Yes.
That's one of the old tried but true soccer
traits.
Yes, form is temporary. And the team with the better form usually comes up on top. I think the team with the better form is going to come up on top tonight. Might be a little closer than I think. It might be a little bit might be a little bit harebrained. I like your 2-0 prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna side on maybe a 2-1. I'm gonna go with a 2-1. It's gonna end in the allotted time.
Yes.
We're not gonna go to penalty kicks on this one because
do you think Chicago get their goal in garbage time?
Maybe. I think they do because if anything, or it could be one of those. It could be one of those games that we've seen all year, and Detroit City has been known to do this.
Yes.
Where they would get they either get the early advantage or disadvantage and then come back strong.
Yes.
I see that being one of those type of matches where Detroit, okay, all right, we see Chicago. We're gonna put it on there.
Yeah, right.
Who do you think I got for a goal scorer? Who do you?
Darren Smith.
Of course.
You
can't really say otherwise right now. The guy's been on a hot streak. I mean, you can't ever say. I mean, he's definitely our striker. I mean, you can't really honestly not include him as far as that one. As far as my other goal scorer goes, I mean, could I say Yamazaki? Maybe. Could I say Ben Morris? Maybe. Could I say Jordan Adebayo Smith? Maybe.
Or Sebastian Gonzalez.
Could I say that? Could I say Connor Rutz?
Maybe.
For that,
if he's in the starting line.
Yeah, exactly. Well, more than likely, he'll probably, even if he's not in the starting lineup, if he comes in as a sub and gets a Golazo or something like that. But I'm gonna go. I'm probably go for my second goal scorer. I'm gonna go with Yamazaki. I'll go with Yamazaki because he can make an impact, and the way he comes out there and his aggressiveness and the way he makes an impact for Detroit City is how. I think it's how they're going to roll and all that. The speed of Detroit City is going to probably outlast the experience, or I wouldn't say the seasonness of Chicago Fire.
Right. And by the way, one more note: this is not their first time at SeatGeek Arena. Normally, they would play at Soldier Field, but they're playing this game at SeatGeek Arena, and we were there when we were a member of NISTA.
Yes, we were.
We were there.
I was there for that one as well, as a matter of fact.
Not many people at the game except us City fans. We won 1-0 on our way for our second and last championship in NISTA. So. For both of these players,
and the end that we were sitting at for that match was the end that the Chicago Fire fans are going to be sitting. We're going to be sitting in a different section for the match.
My!
So you might see us on television, might not.
We'll see. Hope they don't put you in a position the camera won't see you.
Right. We would
know the feeling.
Yeah, but 600 of us going. I think this is our biggest away day. Probably since then, because I can remember when we went to Chicago back in 2021. There was quite a few people there too. I'd say we had at least maybe 150 to 200 people show up to that match.
And now triple that.
Oh yeah, triple that match, and the stakes are higher.
I know. I wish I could have been at Chicago right now. We're taping this on Saturday. And I'm just going to work hard, get her home. I'll probably go to the clubhouse, but hey,
it's going to
be an issue. You know what I mean?
It's going to be.
And even the South Park kids wish you luck.
It's going to be a tremendous experience.
Oh yeah.
Where can you see this game?
Well, since this is the UFO Ocean Cup, there's no rules for Calgary at all. No ESPN Plus, CW Detroit 50, or CBS Online. And the CBS News app, it could only exclusively be seen on Paramount Plus. Just go to the U.S. Open Cup and you're there all the live matches. And it's, I think, a week or 30 days for the trial. And after that, pay your local rate. But always get the one without Showtime because who watched Showtime anyway?
I don't. I got the early package myself, but I don't have Showtime. But great football on that channel as well.
Yes, and considering we saw a lot of great soccer because on Saturday we saw a lot of great last day of the
also earlier if you probably saw something earlier in the day, which was the UEFA Champions League semifinal.
Yes.
They are. That's part of the Paramount Plus as well as Scottish Premier League.
Celtic won their 55th title. Yep. And by the way, for the European League, if you're watching, they will have the regular round. Guess who they have on a separate feed? Beckham. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
It's either Miami Heat or all in the North.
The Los Angeles Lakers of professional soccer.
Let's wrap this up. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yes, Paramount Plus for the game tonight down in Chicago. Post-match from Geek Stadium, win or lose.
And you're going to be down there solo.
Yes, and we'll have hopefully get some interviews. Definitely have some highlights of this one.
And I may do a separate one on my own feed. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see what. Yeah, we'll also see. We want to see his reaction.
Oh yeah.
If should it be positive? We'd love to see the reaction of him celebrating.
Or if it's negative, I'll be like, okay, what's the corner report?
Well, I don't know if we want to do. I don't know if we want to do that.
I watch way too much TV, so I have to mention the corner report in the ladies' finals.
If we end up losing this game, I'll save you that. I'll do that. I'll do that in Chicago.
Well, take trouble, my friend.
Well, thank you.
And I hope we see you back before the next game.
Yes, which will be on Saturday. We'll be recording from Hamtramck on Saturday, previewing that match.
Because you have a different commitment.
Yeah. We'll be recording from. We'll be doing it from Hamtramck. Not sure if it's going to be 1923. Keywords open?
I don't think keywords open.
Yeah, I know that. I don't think they're usually open on the weekends.
On game days it's closed, except for the kids taking in late soccer.
Right. And I think they close it off on Saturdays and Sundays if the school offices are closed anyway. So.
All right.
19 Cafe 19.
Okay.
Beautiful spot, by the way.
All right. Next spot, by the way.
So,
Okay.
until I see you after hours, keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the galaxy.